What's up? It's LMP in the house. How you doing, guys? It is another vlog on the Luke Mindpower YouTube channel. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. I hope that you're going to enjoy the next 20 minutes or so as I recap the last 3 weeks that I missed posting on YouTube. And I remember that I think it was the 1st of July or beginning of July. By the way, I'm sitting outside the front of my house. That's my new car that I bought. It's a nice BMW 330i. A lot of things can change in a very small amount of time. And I know that I made some goals and I gave you some information about 9 weeks ago, I think it was, when I first started doing the vlogs, and I was like, I'm gonna do one every single week. But let me tell you guys that, yeah, I failed, okay? I'm gonna admit it. I said that I was gonna do a vlog every single week, but you know, life and business and growth and staying consistent and trying to sleep on time and having a good routine and staying consistent like with everything that I'm doing, even coming on YouTube, freaking hell, it's challenging. But by the way, if you're watching this, let me know where you're tuning in from. Where are you watching from? What country are you in? Let me know in the comments section. I'd love to see you know, how many people we're connected with, which is, I know YouTube is one of my smaller platforms, but you know, it's still amazing to connect with you guys and to know where you guys are tuning in from. But I want to touch on a few things, especially one of the things, like I just mentioned, that I failed, right? And failure is a part of success. You know, consistency is definitely not something that's very easy to achieve, especially when we have so much going on. And so the first thing that I want to tell you is, you know, check out my nice hair. I just had a shower and I didn't really do it properly, but I just combed it up. But I gave myself a bit of a haircut as well. I'm taking DJ Danilo out. I'm going to be his driver tonight while he DJs at an event, which is awesome. Looking forward to supporting him. It's his 2-year anniversary already. Crazy, hey? Time just absolutely flies, and that's why it's important to believe in yourself, to take action, because before you know it, time just flies so fast, and you look back and you go, where did the time go? What have I done? What have I achieved? Who have I become? This is the crazy thing about life. Time doesn't give a shit about you. It's going to keep going. And so it's up to you to kind of take advantage of this gift of life that you have and say, what am I going to make of myself? You know, what am I becoming? Am I growing, or am I just living and dying on the way to death? The thing is, we're all going to die. We're all going to be dead one day. So, man, you got this life. You're connected to your feelings and emotions. How do you feel right now? Make a choice, make a decision, and stop wasting your freaking life. Stop wasting your time. Stop letting your feelings and your emotions take control of your life, where it's causing you to live in a dysfunctional relationship, where it's causing you to work in a job that you hate. Okay? At any given moment, you can change your life. Any given moment, you can make a decision and go in a different direction. You know, so I mean, let me tell you that failure is okay. And I'm going to admit that, yeah, I said I'm going to post every single week. And let me know in the comments if you've failed on things that you've said that you said you're going to do, and then you got overwhelmed or things got in the way and then you stopped. Let me know in the chat, and let me know in the comments if you've also done that. But I look back and I reflect and I go, well, you know, am I pissed off that I'm not staying consistent? Yes. But I also know that I'm doing my best, you know, and I'm trying my best to manage building my company, serving the clients that I coach in group coaching, in private coaching, building, you know, the systems and the platforms that I have within my business. And all of that takes freaking so much time, you know, as well as like continuing to, you know, add new staff to my team, because one thing I'm learning is that, you know, I can't do it all. So I think it's a blessing for me to be able to continue to grow my company and to be able to even have the ability and the resources, the capital, to be able to say, hey, do you want to work with us? Because the truth is, yeah, I just can't do it all. And I'm realizing that. And I'm like, my energy is so much more sacred now, because I used to be able to make so much content. I used to be able to do so many things. But now that I'm so busy, I'm finding that really challenging, you know, as well as to stay consistent with like my eating, my sleeping, my gym, exercising, taking time off for myself as well. There's a lot that goes into what I do and who I am. And so, yeah, I'm building my team. I'm adding new staff to my team as well, simply because I need help. I need help to be able to function, to be able to manage everything, to be able to create the content for you guys as well. So I'm becoming aware of that, and I'm learning from my lessons. I'm learning from the fact that I can't do it all. And especially giving myself grace for the fact that, you know, you do fail sometimes. Sometimes you make commitments and you realize that, that's too much. You can't handle it all. But here I am. I know I've got some work to do today, but I was like, you know what, grab the tripod, go and sit outside, turn the video on, and speak for 20 minutes and share something on YouTube, because I did make that commitment that I was going to share every single week, but unfortunately I failed there. So just know that it's okay to fail. What's not okay is to keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. It's basically reflect on what are you going to do about it, how you're going to change it, how you're going to keep going, how you're going to restart. And that's the one thing that we can fail on, is we start something, we do it for a couple of weeks, and then we fall off, but then we never go back. You know what I mean? So I'm using this as an example where it's not that I'm not coming back. I'm always going to come back to my YouTube channel. I'm always going to be creating content. It's just about me adding more people to my team. This is definitely the solution, right? What kind of solution can you find for your things that you're failing on, right? Think about it. So my solution now is to add more people to my team so that I can have more time to work on projects like creating content. That's just one of the things, and I want to be able to create content. So I just want to go back to how I manifested this car. I told you guys like 9 or 10 weeks ago at the beginning of July. Maybe it wasn't that long ago, but was it July that I started this? I'm not sure, but I did say that I was going to buy a car at the end of the year. But to be honest, I was driving that Toyota Camry, and because I'm growing so much, my vibration is rising. I'm living on a higher vibrational frequency of positive energy, success, opulence, abundance, right? And I know that it's not something that you judge a person by the car that they drive. But let me tell you something. The one thing that I really believe is that everything is energy, okay? And everything that's outside of you is an extension of who you are. And so now that I'm driving a BMW, right, it's a premium luxury car. Now, when I think about who I am and I think about where I'm going and who I'm becoming, I am not living on a low vibration, right? When I think about energy, I think about success. Do I attach myself to what I was driving before, which was a 1998 Toyota Camry? And I think about that energy of that car. It's really old. It's not new, right? So for me, the connection was a very low vibration, and it didn't empower me, right? Versus when I sit in this car, it empowers me. It makes me feel good, right? Just like the house that you live in. That's why I say, man, clean your bedroom, declutter the shit. Make sure it's all clean. Make sure you make your bed, right? Make sure you don't have shit lying around everywhere. Same thing with your house, your kitchen. Like, make sure it's clean. Make sure it's not dirty. Make sure you clean the dishes straight away after you finish cooking and using the kitchen. Keep things in order, right? Because the energy of that environment that you live in affects how you feel about yourself, right? And you think about it. If you walk around your house and it's nice and clean and everything's in order, does it make you feel good? Of course it does. So it's the same thing with your extension of whatever it is that you have in your life, okay? And I'm not saying to get caught up in materialistic possessions, okay? Because I've already been there, and I was in relationships in the past where, I had all the nice flashy stuff, and it never made me happy. I eventually left that relationship because I wanted my life back. I wanted just me back. I didn't care about the Gucci's and the Louis Vuittons and shit, right? But for me now, I was very mindful before buying this car that, why am I buying this car for? Am I buying it because I want to show off? Am I buying it because I want people to look at me and go, oh, look at this guy, he's got an expensive car, he must be rich, or whatever? Or am I buying it for myself because it's the energy and it's what I want to surround myself with? I want to surround myself with success. That's what I say, you're a product of your environment. With what you surround yourself with is what you become. So if you surround yourself with shit people, guess what? You're going to be influenced by them. Energy is contagious, and you're going to become like them. You copy people. People living on a lower vibration, they're going to lower your vibration. So I see this car as a high vibrational product, which means that when I'm sitting in it and I'm driving it, I'm also continuing to stay on that frequency of living on a high vibration, right? And that way I feel better about myself, and I'm not lowering my vibration. I don't feel shit. I don't feel like, oh, freaking hell, this car's shit. It's going to fall apart. It's going to break down, this and that. So I decided to go to BMW, and I actually went there quite some time ago because I went to have a look at a Porsche, and I had a really bad experience at that dealership. And then I went to BMW and they treated me like I was royalty, for real. And let me tell you, the customer service, I've been in customer service for 20 years, right? How many, like, let me know in the comments, have you ever had a negative experience at a company or a shop, and then after that negative experience, you've never gone back there again? Like, this is the pinpoint accuracy that I am stressing with my team to make sure that every time I have a new client, we take care of them so much, right? My purpose is to provide excellence in customer service, because the customer is the heart of everything that you do, right? And as long as you take care of them, they will take care of you. Now, when I walked into BMW, man, there was like 3 people came up to me straight away. Would you like a coffee? How are you, sir? What can I help for? What can I do for you today? And I remember the manager, and this is BMW Parramatta, by the way. I remember the manager coming up to me and saying, how are you? How are you going? And you know what? His service, he made me feel safe. He made me feel heard. He made me feel comfortable. Like, he really cared about me, you know? And I tell you, man, like, I stayed there, I had a look at some cars. They let me test drive an M4, which is a sports model. And then I wasn't even thinking about buying a car at that time. But just because of that service, look what happened a few weeks later. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this car. Tell me what you got. And I sent him a message and he told me what he's got. And then 2 weeks later, that was it, I got it, you know? So that's what happens when you give positive energy. That's what happens when you care about people. That's what happens when you give. You open the door to receive, you know? And so what this is doing now, and I want to share this with you because this is a dream that I'm creating. I'm manifesting my future, right? Doing this. That there's a reason why I bought this car, but there's also a reason why I've always loved cars, right? Damn it, I'm sitting here and I've been wearing my slippers, and I forgot that I should be just letting my feet sit on the grass because it's grounding, right? Connecting with the earth. So I got my feet on the grass now. So just going back to what I was sharing with you, that when I was younger, when I was a kid, 17, my first thing to do that I wanted to do was buy a car. And back then I had a different mindset. Obviously it was more about buying a lowered car, sports car, so I could look good because I wanted to impress people. And I also believed that if you had a nice car, then you would attract a girlfriend, you would attract a hot girl, you know? So that was my insecurity, you know, because I believed that by having an external thing that was expensive or whatever, then people would look at me and go, oh, he's pretty cool, right? And I soon found out that that was not the case, okay? Just because you have a nice car doesn't mean that you're gonna have a nice girlfriend. It's you that is the selling point, right? Convincer, not the freaking car. But I know that there's people out there that you know, go in relationships because the person has money, you know? But it's amazing to reflect now on my journey, because let me tell you, if you haven't found your purpose, if you haven't found your passion, you can find it in what you did when you were a child. You can find your purpose and your passion and what you love in the things that you did when you were younger. And when I look back now, I think about all the cars that I went through and I bought. I went through a Ford Falcon, it was manual, lowered. I went through a Volkswagen Golf GDI. I went through a Toyota Starlet. I went through a Mitsubishi Evolution 8 MR imported from Japan, which was really quick. I went through a Nissan Skyline 350 GT. I went through, what else did I have? I think that was it. There was probably something else. Was there something else? I don't know. But anyway, there was a lot of nice sports cars that I had that I always liked to do up and buy wheels and put stereo systems in there and all that kind of stuff. So I've always liked that. And, you know, one time I took my Mitsubishi Evolution down to the track and I raced it on the racetrack. But I've always liked racing cars as well. I used to play Formula One on PlayStation. So what's happening now is I can see I still have that passion for cars, except I'm doing it in a different way, where I'm not buying things that I can't afford, right? And I really enjoy it. And I never used to be able to afford this. I used to always be in debt. I used to be getting loans from banks and stuff like that. And so this is the difference now, and I'm seeing me as I'm evolving, that, you know, I still have a passion for sports cars. I still have a passion for, you know, buying things that I like. You know, I want to buy sports cars, more of them in the future. It's just a hobby. It's something that I've always enjoyed. When I was younger, I loved it, but I never had the money for it. So I had a limit to what I could do. And so I was always in debt paying off these cars, you know. So I'm doing things a bit differently, but I'm definitely enjoying this journey of success and being able to be more in control of my life and my decisions, and doing what makes me happy. Because at the end of the day, it is about what makes you happy. You know, it's always remembering that anything external is not going to make you feel enough. Just because I bought this car, yeah, I was mad. I got it the first day. And then the next few days, I had these low points where I was feeling a bit depressed, and I was feeling like, geez, I'm tired, or, you know, the business is up and down all the time. And doesn't mean I don't stop and go, yeah, but you've got a BMW, so you should be happy. And it's like, no, who gives a shit? It's just a fucking car. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be happy forever. It's a nice thing, but it doesn't make you happy inside, you know. So that's why personal development, your healing, overcoming your past trauma, your pain, your insecurities, your subconscious programmed beliefs of some adverse experiences that have made you think a specific way of yourself because of other people's lack of understanding of their own trauma and pain, which they've inflicted on you. And I know I've just gone deep with that, but that's the truth of how we've evolved, some of us, and we haven't overcome that. So we attach ourselves to materialistic possessions, but that's just something to be aware of. You know, the more that you're aware of that, the more that you can live in peace, and the more that you can really understand yourself and know that you're doing things in the right way. And you're not attaching yourself to external things to validate yourself and to make you feel like you're good enough. And to also to people please, impress people, you know. Don't buy shit so that you look good, so that your neighbor looks at you and go, oh wow, he's, you know. You have to be careful of the ego, because the ego is really, really shifty, you know. You've got to be mindful, because sometimes the ego can get the better of you and you think that you're better than other people. And the truth is that no one's better than anyone. Everyone is just themselves. And the more that you can come back to that, like I used to say that I want to have the best podcast in the world. I've got the #1 motivational podcast in the world. No, I don't. I've just got a podcast and I'm Luke Mindpower and I'm just doing my thing. And how many people like it? Awesome. How many people don't? Doesn't matter. You know, I'm just going to show up and be authentic and live my dream. And that's what I want to invite you to do. Live your dream, okay? Don't try and compare yourself to anyone. Don't try to be like anyone. Don't try to fit in. Don't try to be like other people. Be yourself. Do what makes you happy, okay? And most importantly, love yourself. Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you enjoyed this session on the Luke Mindpower YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you want more on my coaching and my programs, there'll be some links in the description below. And follow me on Instagram and my other social platforms if you haven't already. I look forward to spending some more time with you. And I'll probably do some more of these vlogs outside my house because it's pretty cool. We're getting into spring now, and the weather's getting a bit better as well. So sending you so much love. Never give up on your dreams. I believe in you guys, and I will catch you real soon. Peace out.